Good morning and good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Before Coffee. It is Wednesday, so it's Wacky and Weird Wednesday. That's right. We have all the weird and wacky stuff reporting live to tell you about so you can, I don't know, have some joy in humanity, in the world, in the globe, and just like, you know what, sometimes the world's not that serious. This is the first and only international game show Before Coffee, a father and daughter news podcast where you look up the stories right before the show starts. We just got caffeine in our body and we're learning to read and speak live on stream. Let's get into those wacky headlines and spin that segue wheel. Today on Wacky and Weird Wednesday. Robbery in Tobago spawns memes and Batman references. Plus, a Mexican Batman vigilante wanted for chasing down suspected thieves and taping them to lampposts.
Passengers have to subdue a pilot and a basil. Basil yodelers rehearsing fountains because it's too stinking hot up there. Or basil, I think it's basil.
Yes. Trains chaos as cows block railway line between London and Scotland for more than 3 hours. And in more animal news, nearly 100 monkeys escape enclosure in Thailand.
And also in the heat, India is protesting. They're calling it the cockroach protest. And the heat is over. It's oppressive, let's call it that way. And a Gracie the giraffe is found in Texas. In our feel-good story, I guess. Feel good.
In my culture story, thousands of Vespas swarm Rome's historic center to mark iconic scooter's 80th anniversary.
Yes, it's National Postal Worker Day and National U.S. Postage Stamp Day. I'm thinking maybe they should spread these days out a little bit. It is July 1st, 2026 on Before Coffee.
Intro.
Most coffee just wants all the attention on July 1st.
Of course, I recently saw a post by somebody who I think was American, and they were like, wait, the Netherlands doesn't have a post, like a national post service? And it's true, I never even realized that. All of it is private. Technically, Post NL is just a private company. That is not paid by taxes. Maybe they're subsidized by taxes, but they're not directly, national.
Right.
There's a fun fact for you about postage.
Yeah, we'll deliver a letter for almost nothing. It's just really that. Well, it used to be really cheap. Now it's just got what is it on 50 cents for a stamp now?
Yeah, I have no idea actually.
When I was a kid,
I don't live there, but I also don't know what it is here either. You can tell your story.
When I was a kid, it was a big deal when the postage stamp went up to 8 cents. I remember that because. Well, it might not seem like a big deal, but when it goes from 5 to 8, that's nearly double. So imagine if it doubled today. That would be the same, ratio. Went up 75% in one day. That's like, oh my God, 8 cents for a stamp. That's outrageous. Now it's, you don't even think about it. We don't use stamps like we used to. Nobody mails letters. Nobody sends postcards. But the last time you got a whole shitload of Christmas.
It's like a cultural thing to like send a card on birthdays and obviously Christmas and on
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna
departing
start,
of deaths. And a lot of babies have been born with a lot of my friends. We get a lot of notes saying, "Hey, the baby was born. Here's how heavy it was, and this is his name."
What you name it?
Yeah.
It. Right? Maybe writing letters will be the new thing that people usher in. Just write a letter. It takes a couple days. Imagine like before telephones, our telegraph. Just go back before telegraphs, which puts us back in like the 1860s. But any news from anywhere had to travel by foot.
Okay, so I've looked it up. A currently I guess 0 to 20 gram, which is probably like a letter, right? Is 96 cents, euro cents. That's one stamp, is 96. It's not even 50, 96. One stamp is 96.
Wait,
and then they have
to convert that to dollars is over $1. Sorry.
Yeah. And then if you have like that's like the blue stamp, and then there's like a red stamp, which is for things that are 20 to 50 grams, and that's 1.92. And then you have an international stamp, which is for 0 to 20, and that's 1.55. So if I want to send you a letter from the Netherlands, it will cost me one and a half euros. If I want to send you a letter.
The one thing that the United States does better than Europe, sending letters cheaper. Yay! USA! 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 The only thing we do cheaper than Europe. Yeah, we got to do something right.
You gotta take your wins. You gotta take your wins when you get them. Yeah.
Trump's trying to kill it. He's trying to kill it. He's doing his best to kill it. He tried killing mail-in voting, which is how the military votes. He tried to kill that. Wow. And he tried to kill
sacrificing yourself for our country. You don't get to vote now because you're in Germany or whatever. Yeah. Really
He's
cool.
already killed. He's already killed. You get to be a citizen if you're in the military. He's killed that. And so good luck getting anybody to go join the army that's not, a U.S. citizen. Because I don't know, I served with probably 15 or 20 I know of non-U.S. citizens that I know of. They were Americans. They were from different countries. And they were in our Marine Corps. And birthright citizenship was held up by the Supreme Court by the threat of, the fascists trying to get rid of it. Clarence Thomas should be set adrift for. Convicted clown.
Our first segue today is bad pun.
All right, bad pun.
Let's talk about some robberies and thieves in my section. It's crazy this is happening in two different places, and it's the news stories on the same day. This first story is coming off of AP News by Anselm Gibbs out of the port of Spain, Trinidad. Police in Trinidad and Tobago said, today, the 1st of July, that they are searching for a group of robbers caught on camera footage. It shows at least 4 suspects fumbling around the crime scene. One of them bore a striking resemblance to Batman, wearing black clothing, a black ski mask, and what looked like a black poncho that blew in the wind like the superhero's cape. The person is seen tripping over debris and falling on the floor while attempting to direct the backhoe. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service said the suspects' efforts to remove the vault proved futile after the arm of the backhoe sustained damage during an incident earlier this morning on July 1st. What the hell is a backhoe? Sorry, I'm not a construction worker. What is a backhoe?
Backhoe? A backhoe is a digging tool that has a digger it has a digger in the back. That's what's called a backhoe, right? It's in back.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so they were trying to use that in order to break into a safe, but that's for digging, not for opening safes, so it didn't work.
That's what
and it did get sustained damage. The suspects were able to move the cash machine to the sidewalk with the backhoe, which police said they stole from a nearby beach. But after the backhoe's arm stopped working, and their combined efforts to lift the cash receipt onto a small truck also failed, the suspects gave up and sped off in what police said was a stolen vehicle. The detached cash machine remained in the open, with the authorities later responding to the scene in Tobago, the smaller of the twin island nation. Based on the security footage video timestamp, the failed attempt lasted over 10 minutes, all while a state of emergency remains in effect. It took 10 minutes to not open the safe, and then they flew off into the night with a cape. The video of the attempted robbery quickly went viral. Memes popped up on social media. Callers on morning radio talk shows made fun of the failed robbers, and a local newspaper headline in story, Batman and robbing. I think if I were these guys, I'd never want to be found, not because I broke the law, but because people would make fun of me for the rest of the time, I think.
The cops really sound like they're on top of it.
Are you that guy who failed to rob an ATM? Trinidad and Tobago recently extended the state of emergency by 3 months until September as authorities struggle with violent crimes. Oh, it must be the summer heat, huh? Increase in violent crimes. But there you go. That's your short story about failed robbers. And,
well, holy incompetence, Batman. There's my pun. Our holy vigilantes, Batman. Let's go find these guys. Wait, let me find my glasses.
Oh,
why would you use a
get
backhoe?
I get jokes.
The front hole was broken. At least they had a backhoe. You know, in case your original hoe gets broken.
Yeah, I mean, good job on the ATM manufacturer, I guess, for being able to make a indestructible box of money.
You think I think a stick of dynamite might be easier getting a backhoe.
Yeah,
Even
I
a
guess they could
cherry
have done
bomb.
that.
I think a cherry bomb will blow that door off. It's a quarter stick of dynamite.
Is it? Oh, I had no idea.
Well, it's something like that.
No.
Or an M80. An M80 will do it. I don't know if you can acquire those in those countries, though, right? It'd be like, oh my God, it's illegal. You'll blow your fingers off, which is what happened. Yeah, people will blow their fingers off. Well, there's different regulations. But anyway, who cares about regulations? They're lawbreakers.
Yeah, they're trying to break into ATM. They probably stole that backhoe, so it's not like they owned a backhoe. If they owned a backhoe, they could have just sold that for money.
Maybe that's the only thing they own. It's the only thing they own. They trade their house for a backhoe.
Yeah, this will be the heist of the century.
Gosh, Batman, you traded the Bat Cave for a backhoe. That's a great deal. We can't live in a Bat Cave anymore. Yeah, I traded it for a digging tool, old chum.
My next story is a bit more Batman-like because we're going to be talking about Mexican Batman. I don't know. Wait, what is Batman in Spanish? I don't know.
He's that wrestler. That wrestler that's always in Mexican TV.
I don't know what they call Batman in Spanish. Maybe, and I won't be able to know.
Nacho
they just call him
Libre.
Batman. No, they just call him Batman. It's Batman, eh? This is from Neil. Sorry, not Neil. This is from Alex Croft on The Independent. A Mexican vigilante known as Batman is being hunted by police after he allegedly chased down suspected thieves and taped them to lampposts.
What Batman?
Five men were found taped and unable to move from a lamppost over 10 days in the area of Lagos de Moreno in Jalisco, western Mexico, according to reports. Western Mexico. Many of them were reportedly sporting mustaches, cat whiskers, and had ratero, the Spanish word for thief, scribbled on their faces by the anonymous crime hunter. Some of them also appeared to have been beaten up with bloody faces and visible cuts. The unknown vigilante was named the Batman of Lagos de Moreno by a Mexican journalist, Luis Cardenas, after local media reported they had become frustrated with the slow pace of local law enforcement and decided to take matters into their own hands. The first case was reported in the city of Lagos de Moreno on June 13th, so this has been happening for a month almost. Just people being taped on lampposts. But 4 other similar instances have since been discovered. So there's 4 other cases of people being taped, and I'm not like saying this is a lot of tape. It's packaging tape, it's duct tape. Their hands are all like this as well. Their hands are taped so they can't get out, right? They can't use their arms to get out. If one person could have done this, because I'm assuming they were knocked out to get taped to a lamppost. Wouldn't you need 2 people, like one person to hold the body and the other person to tape? I don't know. If this is one person, I'm impressed just from their ability to tape somebody to a lamppost by themselves. Pictures show men tied to a lamppost using silver duct tape, some with pink warning signs over their heads describing what they are alleged to have done. The bikes they are accused of stealing were also left nearby in a bid to illustrate alleged crimes. The men were eventually cut free and released by local emergency services. Local police confirmed they are now in search of a suspect after Juan Pablo Hernandez, the state security secretary, said police have recorded 5 such incidents. Salvador de Gonzalez de los Santos, a Jalisco prosecutor, told the Telegraph investigators they're examining the case. Prosecutors said they're investigating alleged thefts by the men, so those people didn't get off scot-free. But at this moment, they are the victims of another crime because they had been unlawfully assaulted and restrained. No arrests have been made at this time. Hopefully he gets away. Though I think in the Dark Knight trilogy, Batman is known to get caught at some point, right? He gets caught and be like, "Hey, you've been beating up people around Gotham. You need to stop doing that." And like, fuck him. Vengeance.
Mm-hmm.
Or something.
Yeah, he uses different types of tape, right?
Yeah, it looked like it was packing tape and duct tape.
So in case, like, if the offender was a waterfowl, he would be using duct tape, right? Duct tape.
Mm-hmm.
If the offender was from Glasgow, what would he be using? He'd be using Scotch tape. Yeah. There's your terrible pun. There's a terrible pun.
Puns.
Yeah.
Woohoo! All right, let's roll our segue for our next stories.
Oh, I missed one. His favorite kind of tape, because he wears a mask, is masking tape, right?
Of course, that's not as good. That's not as good as the other tape, sadly.
Nah, I think it's better. Well, it'll hold you down. You just wrap you long enough, you can't get out of it. If you're tied down, you're tied down, man. You can't do anything.
I guess multi-layers of masking tape can be really strong. Our next segue is haiku.
That's for sure. Haiku. All right. So I guess we're going to talk about the pilot who lost his mind, and yodelers. Pilots and yodelers. Two things that have a lot in common. I don't know if they have anything in common. ABC News has a story. Shafiq Najib and Susan Schwartz. Passengers restrained pilot during apparent medical emergency in terrifying flight. Medical emergency. You don't have one of those if you're a pilot. Passengers aboard an Air Canada flight helped restrain a pilot who experienced medical emergency after they say appeared to be a seizure for about 40 minutes after the aircraft suddenly swerved mid-flight, according to the passengers spoke exclusively with ABC News. Air Canada said flight AC 7664, operated by regional partner PAL Airlines, was en route from Newark, New Jersey to Halifax, Nova Scotia on Wednesday when the captain experienced a medical emergency. Medical emergency means he freaked the fuck out? I don't know. The first officer took control of the aircraft and diverted the flight to Boston, where it landed safely. The captain was taken to the hospital for medical treatment, according to the airline. The de Havilland Q400 was carrying 61 passengers. Air Canada said it was working to arrange alternate travel for those on board and probably major payoffs for the lawsuit. I'm sure there'll be a lawsuit. Rodney McDonald, who is his name is Rodney McDonald. Okay. It's Ronald's brother, Rodney McDonald, who was traveling with his wife and two sons, told ABC News the ordeal began when the aircraft unexpectedly lurched. The moment the plane swerved, I knew something was wrong because I was not turbulent, said the clown who represents McDonald's restaurant. Just kidding. It's not him. I really felt that someone had jilted the controls, and then it happened over and over again. And every thought goes through your mind, like, I'm going to die. That's the thought that goes through your mind. You start praying. I think about that
all the time.
I start praying. My boys instantly started praying. Okay, that'll work. McDonald said that the flight attendant rushed into the cockpit before pulling one of the pilots into the aisle. One of the flight attendants entered the cockpit frantically, and a few months later is dragging one of the pilots out of the cockpit onto the aisle out of the airplane. Now, there's something that you don't see every day. Oh, shit, we're in trouble. All passengers look at each other like, huh? McDonald said the pilot appeared to be experiencing a seizure, and he and about 4 other passengers helped restrain him while the co-pilot flew the aircraft to Boston. Those potentially experiencing a seizure could never be held down due to the risk of further injury, the CDC notes. Instead, the area should be cleared of sharp and dangerous objects, should be turned gently on their side, and they're going to kill everybody in the airplane. We don't care about his health any fucking more. Sorry, mister, I should treat this properly. That's great if you're on the ground in an open field, but your airplane is moving and about to crash to the ground. We don't care about his fucking health. I would be okay with strangling him to death at that point. Thank you very much. Anyway, yeah, it was really horrifying. I was sitting in the front row. My family was from their back. Let's try that sentence again. Yeah, it was really horrifying. I was sitting in the front row. My family was from their back, just the way the seat arrangements worked out. That's the way he said it. And I went back to sit with them and then realized the pilot was out of control physically, not violently. Like it was clear he was not in control of his faculties. He just needed to be restrained. He continued, we worked to get him under control. It was fairly strenuous. 40 minutes, keeping him down, using as many seatbelts as we could to restrain him as laying his chest. McDonald said the registered nurse on board helped direct passengers, assist the pilot during medical emergency, while he praised the flight attendants for remaining calm throughout the ordeal. Flight attendants were stupendous. They stayed calm. Is stupendous a good word? Stupendous just seems like one of those words that doesn't really register with a lot of people. He must not be from America.
It should be your favorite word.
I never hear
stupidity.
Yeah.
It's stupendous.
Yeah. So the flight attendants were stupid, is what he's saying. They stayed calm. All right. Emergency responders met the aircraft after landing in Boston. Rodney McDonald, who was the featured interview on this, said he was grateful everyone made it to safety. We're grateful how it ended. I'm going to go get me a Big Mac. There's your story. Let's have a haiku about seizures on an airplane. And I love how the CDC pipes in and says, they treated this guy the wrong way. Like, he's lucky he's still alive. Right? It's like, you sit still or we're going to kill you because we got to land.
I think this probably could have been caused by a heat stroke or something. I
don't know. Is that the haiku?
No. Burning sun above, cockpit sways with shifting heat. A mind drifts away.
Damn, where's my
flying this anymore?
No, I think he just had a seizure. Maybe he's got some brain disease. Who knows? He might have a coke habit. I don't know the guy. There's all kinds in this world. Just because you're a pilot doesn't mean you're some kind of god. I know that firsthand. I haven't met any pilots I really thought were anything but just ordinary.
Who was saying this?
lot of. I'm sorry. Okay. I grew up.
I didn't say anything about that in my haiku, so I was really confused.
No, I'm just saying. A lot of people look up the pilot as some kind of god. This is a very. Flight pilots get laid a lot. They get laid a lot because just for that reason. Yep. Okay. So our next story, which isn't a haiku, another haiku. Sorry. AP News has a story. Basil. Yodelers rehearse in fountains as Europe swelters. Is sweltering right? What does sweltering look like? You just sit there and go, ugh. Is that what that looks like? I think that's what it looks like. Nobody's playing along. All right. Jez Fielder has the story from AP News. Jez, Jes. Cool name. Wonder if that's his original name. City fountains became impromptu rehearsal spaces this week as yodelers at the festival in Basel, Switzerland, squeezed in last-minute practice while cooling off during Europe's June heat wave. Did we go through this town in Switzerland? I think we did. At one fountain, a folk band dipped their toes in the water on Saturdays as festival goers clapped along with cooled their hands under the flowing stream. From Friday to Sunday, singers and alphorn players, I think that's going to be that big long thing that goes, that right?
I've never heard of this. An
players
alphorn. Must be a German instrument.
No, it's that big long horn that rests on the ground that you do. That one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. From Friday to Sunday, singers and alphorn players filled these streets in spontaneous bursts of yodeling echoed through the restaurants. That'd be great. Get the contest. I just want to hear them practice. I think that'd be more interesting because you hear it all at once. Where diners initially reacted with surprise before joining in. All right. Joining in with practice.
Everyone started yodeling.
Amateur yodeling, and all the dogs lost their mind. All the dogs left town. And Peter's Plats in central Basel, seamstresses remained on call throughout the festival to repair the traditional alpine folk costumes worn by participants in case of emergency. Emergency rip in your costume? How does that happen? He yodeled so much his chest expanded and his shirt ripped open. Oh my God, the humanity. This year, however, it was the fountain rehearsals that became the festival's defining image in the city. Battled record temperatures of around 39 Celsius, or as known as in America as 102 Fahrenheit. Around 12,000 performers and near 200,000 visitors traveled to Basel. That's a lot. 12,000. You have time for that? For the this is called the Eidgenössisches Jodelerfest. Jodelerfest. I guess that must mean yodeler. Switzerland's National Yodeling Festival is the first time the northern Swiss city hosted the event since 1924. That's 102 years. And boy, these people are crowded really close together. I think that contributes to the heat for sure. And there's a picture of a Ferris wheel. And it's a nicer Ferris wheel than the one Trump put up for sure. Oh no, never mind. Swiss yodeling was added to UNESCO's representative list of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity on December 2025, marking the first national festival since the tradition received international recognition. It is a distinction many Swiss take great pride in. That's right. It's an international cultural heritage contest. Unlike the brighter, more melodic style often associated with Austria and Tyrol region, Swiss yodeling is slower and more melancholic and emotionally nuanced tradition rooted in distinct regional dialects. I've always loved music, and I left here as a child. When I moved back to New Zealand, I wanted to stay connected to Swiss culture, so I joined the New Zealand Swiss Kiwi Yodeling Club, said Freddie Conquer, a member of the Yodeler Club, Echo Basel, one of the clubs hosting the festival. The participants competed in 3 disciplines: yodeling, alphorn playing, and flag throwing. Flag throwing? Wow, that's interesting. I don't even know what that means. The alphorn is a long wooden instrument traditionally used by herdsmen in the Alps and may stretch more than 3 meters or 10 feet in length with a sound carrying across valleys or during the festival through Basel streets. It provides all of its pitches using natural harmonics alone with no bells or keys. Nice. A little bit more. Everything is down to the mouthpiece, hearing the note in your head, and then using your lips to shape the pitch as you make it all the pitch with your own lips, kind of like a kazoo. The higher the note, the harder you have to blow. Like a really long kazoo without the little paper reed in it. Pierre-Andre Carlin, who is rehearsing on a school lawn. On Sunday morning, participants gathered outside the town hall, eagerly awaiting competition results. Members of the Joker Club Barlfriend from the town of Visp in the canton of Valais were nervously examining the list and later celebrated loudly after receiving a perfect score of 1. One of such several teams.
Wow.
One of several such teams. As flags were carried through the town during the festival's closing parade, members of the Yodeler Club Montuns rode past on the tractor to cheers from the crowd. Alphorn players followed their instruments and costumes, almost certainly a burden in the heavy heat, but smiles remained. Okay, tradition is tradition. No matter how much you're suffering, blow that horn and yodel to your heart's content. There's your story. Have a haiku about the yodelers of
Basil?
I already forgot the name of Basel. What I said, Basel.
Yeah, we stopped in Basel, not like we just stopped there to change trains when we went through Geneva, I think.
Well, that's different than just watching people get on and off.
It's also the capital of Switzerland, I believe.
No, I believe that's Bern.
Is it? Oh, okay. In the mountain air, yodels echo through the trees. Hike the trail! Let's cheer!
There you go. Enthusiasm.
For yodeling.
Enthusiasm abound. Yeah. My soundboard hides on me again. Yay. Here's what the elf horn sounds like. That's an elf horn.
I don't think it sounds anything like that. That's the trombone.
Well, you can make that. You can make a similar note, but it's going to be more long and drawn out, and it's going to echo throughout the valleys.
Our next segue is a mixed metaphor.
Womp, womp, like that, maybe. What did we get? What did we spend?
Mixed metaphor.
Okay.
Our stories are coming out of animal news. First, a train chaos in the UK. This is from Neil Lansfield on The Independent. Thousands of rail passengers are experiencing significant disruptions across the UK today after a herd of cows wandered into a critical section of the West Coast main line. It's all in the words. It goes West Coast, and it's the main one. This incident, which began shortly after 9 a.m., has blocked the line in Staffordshire between Lichfield, Trent Valley and Rugeley, Trent Valley for over 3 hours. West Midlands Railway service between Birmingham International and Rugeley, Trent Valley will also not run between Hednesford and Rugeley, Trent Valley. This has led to widespread delays and cancellations for service operated by Avanti West Coast and Lumo, affecting routes between London Euston and Scotland. London North Western Railway and West Midlands Railway services are also impacted. Adding to the complexity, it is understood there have been difficulties in contacting the farmer responsible for the animals. Maybe he finally just said, "Fuck this shit, I'm out. Be free,
exactly.
cows. I don't care anymore. I don't get paid enough for this shit." Passengers are advised to anticipate continued disruption until 4 p.m., which I think that's still for a while. Alternative travel arrangements are being made, with tickets being accepted on certain other routes. Road transport is also being provided, so they're providing train buses. Cow, are you the one who put all these cows on the rail? He's rallied the English cows. A Network Rail spokesperson said, "At around 9 a.m. this morning, we received a report of cows on the line near Armitage between Lichfield and Rugeley. This resulted in some train services through the area being delayed and disrupted. Our teams attended the scene and, with assistance from farmers, were able to resolve the situation around 1 p.m. Maybe this was yesterday, not today, because it hasn't even been 1 p.m. in the UK, so this might have been yesterday. Normal working will now resume. We are sorry those affected by the disruption." Many affected passengers expressed their frustration on social media. One wrote to Avanti West Coast that they were stuck on a train that had not moved for 3 hours, while others complained that they had been offered one 330ml bottle of water, adding, "I'm sure your shop is doing great business." Another stranded passenger posted on Twitter to ask, "How long will these delays last, and how long does it take to move cows off the line? Maybe it's time to become a cowboy and find out." London North Western Railway said cattle on the line is just south of Rugeley, Trent Valley. Some lines are blocked, so there will be delays and cancellations. Staffs are on site. Traffic monitoring system INRIX, my nose itches, has issued the following alert. Service suspended on Avanti West Coast between Stafford and Rugby and between Stoke-on-Trent and Rugby due to animals on the line at Rugeley, Trent Valley. Some services are diverting via Birmingham New Street. Registration, not that. Blah, blah, blah. That's the end of the story. That is the end of the story. Cows on the rail, causing a 3-hour delay. Must have been some great grass.
I was finding a weird video, but I did hear your story, and it sounds like, here's your mixed metaphor, it sounds like they're herding cats right up until when the cows come home. And the cows do come home because they want to get milked. They do come home. They're
exactly.
like, God damn it.
But these might be meat cattle, so maybe they're not even interested in going anywhere. They're just eating. They didn't really say.
Well,
they didn't say what kind of cows they were.
In that case, it's utterly ridiculous. There's my pun. Anyway, I didn't roll a pun, but.
I mean, the picture they provided shows a brown cow, which I don't remember the name of brown cows. You would know that more than me.
How now, brown cow?
But I don't know if that's an actual cow. That's in like
Guernsey.
yeah.
Most cows are named after frickin' England, by the way. Herefords are named after, right? Hereford, Jerseys, Guernseys, Holsteins. Is that a British name?
Holstein sounds German.
Black and white cows are called Holsteins. Let's see, Brown Swiss. I don't know if they're British or, but Jerseys and Guernseys definitely are, and Herefords, right?
Oh, this is interesting.
What's the
Here
only
you go.
part?
The Holstein is actually Frisian, which is the northern part of the Netherlands. So it's a Dutch cow.
Oh,
It's not a German
there
cow.
you go. You got the black and white cows, the most popular cow in America anyway, because they produce the most milk. They give the most milk.
But Frisia is from the North Holland to the German state of Schleswig-Holstein, which is where it gets its name. So, originally that area. But it's Frisia. Originally that was Frisia, so the original inhabitants of this region, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. And there are a lot here, so that makes sense. We do have a lot of Holsteins here in the Netherlands.
I had a pun and a mixed metaphor. So there you go.
Not that one.
Is there another story?
Yes, I do have another story. Sorry, I was just doing this.
Holy cow!
My next story is about escaped monkeys. That's right, animals are on the havoc as usual this Wednesday. This is from Neil Lansfield on The Independent. Oh wait, sorry, that's the wrong story. This is from Ben Hooper on UPI. Captured monkeys wait to be fed during the annual monkey banquet held inside an enclosure at Lopburi Zoo in Lopburi, Thailand. Officials in Thailand City said authorities are scrambling to capture 100 monkeys that broke out of their enclosure. Officials confirmed the monkeys escaped Tuesday morning, which would have been the 30th of June, from the Lopburi Municipality Animal Nursery in Pho Ko Thon Subdistrict, Myong Lopburi District, while staff managed to keep more than 1,000 other primates from following their lead. Where are those guys going? Lopburi Mayor Shabaroon Salaship ordered local police and other agencies to round up the monkeys before they can cause damage to the community. The municipality, which is famous for its annual Monkey Buffet Festival, was formerly home to a large number of free roaming long-tailed macaques. But the Department of National Parks, Wildlife, and Plant Conservation handed down orders in 2024 for about 2,500 of the animals to be rounded up and put into large enclosures. The decision came after multiple incidents of monkeys becoming violent in search for food. Officials said the damage to the monkeys' enclosure was repaired on the same morning, and plans are being drawn up to build a more secure double-layer enclosure for the primates. But they still are on the loose, I guess. So if you happen to be in Thailand, around Lopburi, watch out for the monkey business going on, because they might attack you just for your fries. And that's my short story about monkeys.
There's 100 monkey metaphor. It's actually pretty famous. Did you know that?
No.
It's a famous metaphor describing how the idea, behavior, or belief spreads spontaneously through a group population once a critical mass adopts it. So critical mass is the 100th monkey, is the critical mass. So that 100th monkey said, it's time to run away. my mixed metaphor would be, if you put 100 monkeys in a room with 100 typewriters for 100 years, they will still throw feces at each other. That's your mixed metaphor. I don't even know if that's a metaphor. Oh, there's a metaphor about that, right? If you go 100 monkeys, 100 years, and 100 typewriters in a room, and they will write all the great works of literature eventually, right? I don't think that's true, because first of all, you have to conjugate verbs and shit. Yeah, that ain't possible.
Maybe in Thailand they could. I don't know how.
That's the theory.
Any language.
That's the
There's
theory.
a language out there maybe that they could do it with.
No, I see. Here's what I see a monkey doing: hitting the one key over and over again. Oh, it sticks, and pulling it back, and then pulling it back, and then pulling it back. That's what a monkey will do for 100 years and never learn a damn thing. That's why they're monkeys, and they're stuck in that that place in evolution. They've never got the brains for that shit. Anyhow,
you gotta keep on feeding them that warm food.
They don't have speech. They can't talk. You know, that kind of stuff.
They talk to each other. They definitely have speech.
But not like us. Not like us, I'm saying. They can't, like, conjugate verbs. We want our books to be in English, not in monkey talk, right?
Well, I mean, other people
or at least a legible language. Or just a language, a language that humans speak. Let's say, let's have it in English, not monkey talk. Right? Like, I don't know what that means in monkey talk. Hey, I'm done with my tangent. I got several things wrong. I know that, but I was just trying to get for it.
There we go.
I'm not as good as this. All right.
Oh, their horn broke.
Really? Probably.
I just heard it go, and I didn't do the whole sound.
We got the hockey keyboard.
There we go.
Charge!
All right. Let's roll our next segue wheel.
Oh, okay.
That was 2 stories. The
More
cows and the
escaped
monkeys.
animals. That's right. More escaped animals. Oh, first, we're going to talk about the cockroaches. Not real cockroaches.
Hopefully, there's a song that reminds me of.
La cucaracha, la cucaracha. There's a song. BBC.com has a story. Greta Pandy. CGP Abhijit Dipki. That's a person's name. Why India's cockroach protesters are still in the streets in over 40 degrees Celsius heat. Let's find out. Delhi's Jantar Mantar, an 18th century astronomical observatory in the Indian capital, best known for its the Indian capital's best-known protest site is heaving with hundreds of students, young professionals, and activists who have camped here day and night for the past 10 days. A harsh sun beats overhead and temperatures hover over 40 degrees Celsius. Young men and women stand around in groups. Some sit while others even sleep in the baking hot road, hemmed in by heavy yellow metal barricades erected by Delhi police to contain a crowd. As protesters take turns at the microphone, the crowd chants slogans and sings Bollywood songs of rebellion under the watchful gaze of police and paramilitary personnel. The protesters, who call themselves cockroaches, belong to an online satirical movement called the Cockroach Janta Party, or the CJP. They're demanding the resignation of Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan after key entrance exam for aspiring doctors called the National Eligibility Cum Entrance Test, or the NEETUG, was canceled in early May following a paper leak. I guess somebody leaked all the answers. They say he must take moral responsibility for the leak and quit. That's a big deal in India. The National Eligibility Tests for undergraduates. Crazy. On Sunday, the
people are just paying
intensified
through it. That's usually how these tests are corrupt, right? Oh, I just paid a lot of money to the examiner and my child passed.
I'm not going to speculate. On Sunday, the protests intensified after Sonam Wangchuk, a well-known climate activist from remote Himalayan region, joined the protest and began an indefinite hunger strike. Still don't know what they're mad about. CJP emerged in Mumbai after Chief Justice of Indian Surya Kant triggered outrage by likening some unemployed young people turning to journalism and activism to cockroaches and parasites. The judge later said he was referring to people with fake and bogus degrees, not young people in general, but the backlash had already spread. The man at the center of this movement is CJP founder Abhijit Dipki, a 30-year-old undergraduate student of public policy at Boston University in the U.S. Let's see what he has to say and if it has anything to do with anything. I had just come back from the gym and was playing FIFA on my PS5 when I saw the Chief Justice comment. He told the BBC at the protest ground, a bit disappointed and baffled by it. He shared a one-line post. What if all cockroaches come together? Okay, so this protest is simply because name-calling? Mm-hmm. Dipki's posts attach hundreds of thousands of views and responses, especially from the Gen Z. There were lots of memes and jokes and comments, and many of them wrote saying we should start our own platform, maybe our own party. I thought, why not? Let's do something crazy. It does sound crazy. As an AI prompt gave him a logo and a mascot, a suit wearing a cockroach. Yes, see, I have a cockroach. The Cockroach Hanta Party, CJP, the name parodying Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Bharatiya Hanta Party, BJP, was born. Within days, CJP evolved from a platform for memes and jokes to a forum where young people voiced anxieties about scarce jobs or repeated exam paper leaks, demanded answers from those in power. None of this was intended or planned. It was just meant to be satire, but as millions began signing up, people started saying, we also want to turn this into a serious movement because no other political party is talking about our needs and our hopes and aspirations. I was kind of forced into it by our supporters. Okay. I don't think he wanted to start a political movement, and I'm not sure he knows what their goals are. That's a problem. As we are a youth movement, we decided to first take up the issue, the concerns that concerns the youth. Over the years, we've seen so many exams getting canceled and no one doing anything to fix the system or take responsibility. The CJP is not a political party, and its leaders show no sign of wanting it to become one, nor is it clear whether it is as a vast online following. 22 million on Instagram can translate into support on the ground. Of course, Instagram could be bots. We don't know. CJP's first protest demanding Padhan's resignation was also held on Jantar Mantar. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'll just pronounce it how it looks. On 6 June, shortly after Dipke returned from Boston, his return and planned protests had been widely publicized, and few expected police would let him attend. Even I didn't think I'd be allowed to leave the airport. I was expecting to be arrested, he said, adding that he was met at his seat inside the plane by police, but then let him off, and a few hours later, he was at Jantar Mantar leading the protest. Since the CJP has staged protests in a half dozen cities before returning to Jantar Mantar last week, I love saying that, to renew its demand for the minister's resignation. Again, they want this guy to resign for saying something silly, and again, I'm not exactly sure what their goals are, but there you are. They're dressed up as cockroaches, and that's why it's weird. And okay, you got something to protest? It's really hot outside, and we're real uncomfortable, so we're going to get more hot and more uncomfortable as we protest it. But other than that, I'm not sure exactly what they're expecting to gain. Other than, we're angry. Yeah, they're obviously going to be sorting this out, I hope. I don't know. Maybe they'll get some kind of movement. They just feel like they're getting
pigeonholed, I suppose.
Yes, they have no future, but that is everywhere on planet Earth. Nobody has any future because this planet is boiling, going to burn up very soon.
You shouldn't protest for anything, or is that your point?
That's not my point. I have no point to make. I'm just saying,
okay.
I have no idea what their goals are. I'm just saying there's no spelled out anything other than I don't know. I'm
called the cockroach,
confused.
I guess. Yeah. This
We're
reminds
angry.
me of.
We have a mascot.
This is England
we're angry.
by the Clash.
Oh yeah, this is England, really? Okay, cool.
Yeah, just because the song is about
austerity.
Time is on our hands. We won't go for carrots. Been beaten by the pole. Some sunny day, confronted by a soul. His eye will see how fast you can grow old. Except in a Clash accent, which I will not attempt to sing like the Clash.
I love it.
Break my voice. Yeah. So.
Right on.
This is India,
Joe Strummer.
the Indian version of it.
This is India. Yeah, they're all cricketers, right?
Our politicians call us cockroaches and parasites because we say, hey, stop fucking up the system. No, let us fuck up the system and fuck you over. I guess.
Hey, and a more lighthearted story, we have the giraffe that was recovered. We're talking about animals on the loose, monkeys and cows. We also have a giraffe in Texas, not the natural habitat for a giraffe, obviously. Probably on a game farm, not a zoo. Zoos usually keep track of their giraffes. Gracie the giraffe. I'm sorry, this is from AP News again. John Hanna. Gracie the giraffe, who went missing for about 2 weeks in Texas after wandering off a remote private ranch, was finally found Friday, and the open range appeared to have agreed with her. The giraffe was spotted about 4 miles south of the enclosure during an aerial search of Texas Hill Country. If you don't know what Texas Hill Country is, it's over by Austin. According to Real Country Sheriff Nathan Johnson, which is probably his real name, he said Gracie's owner, Vic Jones, which is probably his real name, contacted a veterinarian and began putting together a team to bring the giraffe safely back to the ranch. She's in good shape, Jones says. She's standing there swishing her tail. Gracie, who was about 3 years old and weighs at least 1,200 pounds, was found within a half mile of a pond and creek and had plenty of vegetation to feed on, said Jones, adding that she appeared to have been in that area for about a week. Getting a 10-foot-tall giraffe home to Cedar Hollow Ranch about 100 miles west of San Antonio was taking some work. Veterinarians needed time to sedate Gracie and put a hood over her eyes, Jones said. From there, Gracie will be moved to an open pasture trailer to a taller enclosed trailer made for giraffes for the trip back to the ranch. And watch out for the low bridges. Parts of the remote area cannot be reached by car, which prompted the search by helicopter. While Real County's 2,700 residents were urged to keep an eye out for her, Gracie was found on a private property where no one lives, Jones said. We didn't bother her, Jones said at the sighting. She's got water. She looked
wanted.
Great.
You just didn't want to be bothered. All these people staring at me all the time.
Looking for other giraffes, I imagine. They want some companionship. The Texas Hill Country is one of the largest concentrations of exotic captive animals in the United States. Way to go, jackasses. You own a bunch of animals that you're torturing by keeping them away from other people of their same. Johnson said this week he had reports of missing wildebeests, water buffaloes, zebras, and monkeys, though never a giraffe previously. I don't think he's had those reports this week. I think he said this week. Poorly written. Maybe he has had them all this week. I don't know. The area had a mild climate and a rugged terrain and plenty of vegetation for Gracie to eat. Mild climate in Texas? No way. In Africa, giraffes thrive best in dry and semi-dry savannas and grasslands. Jones believes that Gracie, who arrived at the ranch in May, didn't mean to leave it. She had been wandering up to that rocky area to feed on trees growing out of the rock and always come back to the ranch giraffe's enclosure.
Did they even have trees in her enclosure? What the fuck? Yeah, we're getting a new giraffe in our exotic zoo. Hey, do you think we should grow some trees in it? No. Giraffes don't need to eat trees.
Hill Country does have trees. It's not like the rest of most.
You can also just plant them, right? You don't have to wait for them to grow naturally. You can just plant a tree.
The giraffe's been there a very short time. Jones said Gracie
wanted to buy it from a happenstance. Did they not buy it beforehand and be like, "Hey, we're buying a giraffe. Maybe we should grow some trees in the enclosure."
Planting a tree a giraffe can feed on would probably take about 20 years. The tree would probably have to already be there. I don't know if you can transplant huge trees. Jones said Gracie wandered in a rocky area, came down the wrong side of the gate. At that point, she said it was easier for her to keep walking in the same direction than to try to go back up the hill. The area wasn't fenced because giraffes had not been going there until Gracie did. Building a fence requires jackhammering through rock to put up posts, but Jones said he plans to have a fence put up now, and Gracie will stay in the ranch's giraffe enclosure until it's ready. Well, there's your quick story about the giraffe. I hope it was quick anyway. Big, tall giraffe. Easy to spot from a distance, I would think. Let's have it. Let's have us... wait a minute here. What do we get here? That's the story. The end.
Yes,
the
I'm
end.
sorry. I'm eating food. I'm eating my lunch.
Okay.
The song this reminds me of is Chlorine by 21 Pilots, in which one verse says, "Fallout of formation. I plan my escape from the walls they confined. Rebel red carnation grows while I decay. I'm running for my life. Running for my life. Yeah, I'm running for my life. Running for my life."
Okay.
To find some more giraffes, I guess.
Not exactly running for his life, but who knows? He was probably just, damn, I don't know where I am. That's probably where it was. I know there should be a stinking giraffe enclosure over here, so oh shit, I'm lost. Let me just keep walking. Walking and eating. Maybe I'll find another giraffe. Maybe I'll find a road map. I don't know.
Suddenly giraffes can read road maps.
Sure, why not? I'm not
Oh,
going to impose my own ignorance on a giraffe.
but we just said monkeys can't talk, and now you're saying giraffes can read maps.
They can't talk in human language.
Hypothetical is our next. Hypothetically, they could read. Giraffes could read maps.
Ooh.
Let's go into
If you put
my
100
culture news.
giraffes, if you put 100 giraffes in a room with 100 typewriters for 100 years, they still won't even hit the keyboard because they don't have hands. What was that? The
Hypothetical.
okay.
This story is coming out of Rome for the 80th anniversary of the Vespa by David Biller and Trish Thomas on AP News. More than 10,000 Vespas putted around the Colosseum and past the Roman Forum on last Saturday, which was the 27th of June, marking the 80th anniversary of the iconic scooter. Enthusiasts came from all over. The AP spoke to people from across continental Europe, northern England, San Francisco, Australia's Gold Coast, the Philippines, and more. Vespa-born visitors converge on the internal city's cobblestone streets to celebrate a brand like they likewise view as timeless. If for only a day, Ferrari, Ducati were forgotten as the little Vespa left them in the dust. The passion for the Vespa is for Italian-style freedom. The 60s, said Nathalie Dunan, a retiree from France, was celebrating her own 61st birthday too. I love it. Made world famous by the film Roman Holiday in 1953, when Gregory Peck gave Audrey Hepburn a romantic lift through Rome's center, Vespas have since featured in others, including the talented Mr. Ripley, and more recently, the animated Luca. With curved lines evoking a bygone era, plus an ability to produce smiles among onlookers, Vespa, which means wasp in Italian, is the two-wheeled transport, what the Volkswagen Beetle is to cars. Its invention was a bit of a chance, as Italy rebuilt from the rubble after World War II. Piaggio, a major aircraft manufacturer that saw its Pontedera factory destroyed by bombings, had to change gears, downshifting considerably. Piaggio started churning out scooters. Women were among initial target clients, according to David Zanolini, Piaggio's executive vice president of marketing, since they could ride them while wearing long skirts and without showing their legs. That's reflected in the Vespa's design. The shape, the elegance, this is a very charming attitude of Vespa and much more of a lady than a man, Zanolini told the Associated Press in an interview, and that's why I think even today there is a bit of homophobia when men are riding Vespas. Right? What are you, a girl riding a Vespa? Where you think you're really manly riding that Vespa? You're a bit gay riding that Vespa. Yeah, I hear it all the time. Here.
No, okay. That's weird.
Yeah.
That's really weird.
Well, it's funny because they're really loud and then they zoom really fast down like the bike road. And then you're like, you're on a Vespa, dude. You're not cool. Shut the fuck up.
How fast do
they
go?
Road. Bike roads are supposed to be nice and quiet and then like going down. I don't know. Maybe 30. 30? I think they have a limit. You can't go past 40 or something, or you are breaking a law. Anyways.
We're talking miles per hour.
So Vespas were originally made for women. The little two-wheeler helped kickstart Italy's economy, and soon enough, they were everywhere. An AP article, because that's how old AP is, from the 1950s, said the Vespas had become so prevalent that their staccato exhaust racket had downtown Rome sounding like the Indy 500. There probably is a noisier scooter in the world, it said. Scooters darting loudly around Rome are said to impress motor-minded Americans as strongly as St. Peter's or the Colosseum. The scooter quickly teaches visitors to look 4 ways at once at street crossings. Such scenes have again become commonplace since Vespa's aficionados started arriving last Thursday, which would have been the 25th of June, flooding streets all over the city with traveling groups making their presence known in matching t-shirts. The parking lot outside Rome's Stadium of the Marbles on the 25th of June had rows upon rows of Vespas of all makes from the past 8 decades. It was like a motorcycle
I want a
rally, except
Vespa.
adorable.
Instead of electric one. Go ahead.
Yeah, probably. I think they definitely have electric ones. Some Vespas feature flowers and stuffed animals. I was almost tempted to get a Vespa too when I was younger.
Electric Vespa.
I was like, I don't want a car.
Paddle assist one.
But then I think you said I think Melanie also wanted a Vespa, and you're like, I'm not going to let you guys drive around on a small ass motorcycle. We get run over by a big truck or something.
Melanie just wanted to go to work and back because
it's basically just.
Gas.
Yeah, and if it's electric, you don't even have to pay anything, right? You just charge it at home.
Yeah. Even 2-stroke engines don't use that much gas, and motorcycles. So it's just, they get 100 miles to the gallon. A motorcycle does.
The Piaggio company switched gears.
Unless they're Harley's probably just leak gas like they leak oil. Anyway, sorry. But.
The Piaggio company switched gears from making military vehicles to the iconic scooter at the end of World War II. Vespas were partially designed as a vehicle that could be used by women and priests, so they could zip around in long skirts. The anniversary events included a Vespa parade through the streets of Rome on the 27th of June. Dunland's Westier Terrier rode behind her, its fur coat short to cope with the heat. A man from Tokyo, with his 8-year-old daughter behind him, swapped his hometown club banner with an Italian one. Others traded stickers, and the Vespa logo tattooed on a German man's meaty calf appeared next to 3 words in flavory cursive: La Dolce Vita, the sweet life. I didn't know people love Vespas this much. This is very interesting. Aficionados
if you want a Vespa in the United States, man, you can probably name your price, like a vintage one. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Aficionados spoke about how the brand taps into nostalgia for a certain time, even among those who weren't even alive then. Many also noted that they traded bigger motorcycles for their nimbler and more manageable Vespa because they're lighter and automatic, with the accelerator on the hand grip. You get on twist go. Dawdle easy, said Andrew Walton, a 59-year-old truck driver who brought his first Vespa almost 20 years ago and never looked back. Literally all people of all backgrounds love a Vespa. You can find every single type of person here. He had just spent 8 days riding from Newcastle, first with the ferry to Rotterdam, then following the Rhine River through Germany to Austria. It's a romantic road, and finally down along the Italian coast. That does sound quite romantic. A long journey on a Vespa. Once Rome's mayor cut the ribbon at the Stadium of Marbles, visitors streamed in singing, chanting, waving flags. Many made a beeline for the gift shop, where they could snap up anything from Vespa jackets and hats to Vespa blankets, Vespa water bottles and Vespa umbrellas. But most early comers had their eyes on a limited edition helmet with the 80 years of an icon emblazoned on its side. A photo perspective showed Vespas in classic scenes, couples picnicking in flowering fields, seaside escapes with bikinis and a beach ball, and road trips under the Mediterranean sun, plus others one might not imagine, like explorer Soren Nielsen, reaching the Arctic Circle on a Vespa in 1963. Well, that is interesting. There are also pristine Vespas from Piaggio's collection displayed, like posing models to admire, and soaking up attention usually directed towards the nearby marbles with idealized physiques. The company has sold about 20 million Vespas worldwide since 1946, and today sells in 110 countries, Zanolini said. In the US, they're popular in Florida and California, where the weather is usually not different, right? Maybe it rains, but that's about it. And gaining traction in some other places like Austin, Texas. But it's still a niche product in America, he said. Burke Saddam, whose family owns a 100-year-old car dealership in Indiana, the United States, told the AP in Rome that he bought his first Vespa about 2 decades ago, captivated by its sidecar. He quickly realized there was no resellers around and got in touch with Vespa to get in the game. He has since moved about 1,000 of them across the US, snagging 15 for himself. A little Vespa exporter. No one ever says anything bad about Vespas, it's crazy, Sandman said inside the Vespa village. Everyone that trades other brands for a Vespa, they never go back. Just something about it. Everyone likes Italian stuff. I get a lot of people that come back from Europe and they've got the bug. And then funnily enough, they have a picture of a person in a Vespa that looks like a bumblebee. So that's fine. They dressed it up like a bumblebee. So everyone's got the Vespa bug that last weekend and probably still now, because there's a lot of Vespa lovers out there. Fun to learn about people's fascinations.
Yes. I have a hypothetical for that, and my hypothetical says, wouldn't it be, how interesting would the world be if all transportation ingenuity stopped with the Vespa? That was the absolute apex of our ingenuity. We didn't invent a car, we never had a train, we never had airplanes, we just had Vespas. And that's the only thing that's enough, we stopped evolving, we're good.
We've made the perfect vehicle. There's nothing else to add.
That's right. That's right. And it runs on bean juice. You don't even need it.
All right,
hey,
let's go into this day in history.
I'll add what I want. Bean juice.
Yeah,
I did send you a video. It has nothing to do with any of our stories, but it's a weird story. So, and it's in Texas, and it's one of those things that's like, huh? What? It's about a guy giving away free food. Sarcasm for this day in history, July 1st, which we did a lot of it yesterday, unfortunately. So I'll just do a real quick review because I accidentally skipped a whole entire day yesterday. This was the day Sir Thomas More went on trial for treason, refusing to accept King Henry VIII as his leader of the Church of England. That was in 1535. 1690, the Battle of Boyne. King William of Orange defeated King James II, who was attempting to take back the throne. William of Orange then took, with his wife Mary, who is, I believe, a cousin or a sister of James II. I think his sister. Anyway, they got married, and cousins got married, and William and Mary didn't have any kids. They didn't really last as a thing. 1863, the Battle of Gettysburg began on July 1st. The American Civil War was a turning point as the South got their ass kicked and turned tail and headed back down to Virginia. 1903, the first Tour de France began. The race went on to become cycling's most prestigious and difficult event. Should be starting this week. I love watching that. I love watching the bike races. And unfortunately, sometimes there's some real bad accidents. But that's all the excitement of riding a bike at high speeds. The 1934, the Hays Code, which set guidelines regulating the moral content of Hollywood films, began. 1968, the United States, the United Kingdom, USSR, and 59 states signed the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty in an attempt to halt the spread of nuclear weapons. They're still trying that to this day. No?
I'm sorry to hear that, Nico. You can only ride at high speeds? You're just going really fast on a bike? That's my bad dad joke right there.
I said, I don't know. I have no comment for you know what they say about riding a bike? It's like riding a bike. You never forget. 1979, Sony begins selling a Walkman. I know everybody's having deja vu if you watched the show yesterday because I covered this already. 1997, the Crown Colony of Hong Kong officially reverted to Chinese sovereignty, and they've been struggling for human rights ever since. 2002, the International Criminal Court was established to prosecute individuals accused of genocide, war crimes, and crimes against humanity. Hopefully they're still doing that. I don't know. 2004, Marlon Brando, who could have been a contender, died at the age of 80. He could have been somebody instead of a bum. And of course, he went on to star in not only on the Waterfront, not only in Godfather, but he was Superman's dad. And don't forget Apocalypse Now. And at some point, he stopped giving a shit about acting, and he would not remember his lines. 2020, the North American Free Trade Agreement was took effect. Stinky the Clown negotiated that, even though he decided it was a bad agreement a couple of years later because he works for Russia and he wants to screw the American public because Russia's, Putin's telling him what to do. 1963, the zip code's rocky introduction. On this day, the U.S. Post Service debuted the zip code, ushered in the electronic mail sorting. Yes, everybody got a 5-digit code. Yeah, Streetcar Named Desire. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. He was always playing that misunderstood kind of brooding, misunderstood brooding guy. The James Dean character, right? That guy. He He took over the mantle of James Dean, I guess, when James Dean died. The Dominion of Canada was established. Happy Canada Day to everybody in Canada, all you hosers up there in Canada. Happy Canada Day. And it's the birthday of Princess Diana.
Gone too soon.
Yeah, the current Princess of Wales is Catherine, who's had a cancer diagnosis. We talked about her yesterday. Princess Diana was born on this day in 1961. This would be her 65th birthday. She was very young when she died in 1997. When she was murdered. I mean, died in a car accident. That's it. That's what happened. It was a car accident. It was just a car accident. That's all it was. Trying to get away from the paparazzi. Once again, if you're a driver, stop acting like you're Mary Wayne Dreddy. Yeah, there was no chance that was an accident. Our other birthdays today: Haprasad Chaurasia, Indian musician, born in 1938. Willie Dixon, American musician who was ripped off by Led Zeppelin, amongst others, born in 1915. Estee Lauder, American businessman and philanthropist. Estee Lauder, a lot of makeup stuff. And Amy Johnson, English aviator, born in 1903. Estee Lauder was born in 1908. Our national day calendar is National Post Office Day. National Postal Worker Day. Not the office itself. The people that work there. Take care of them, because it's not a great, that's, I guess they don't have postal workers shootings anymore. It's become more of a every workplace type thing now, but it used to be a big thing in the 80s and 90s. I guess in the 90s it got big, was post office workers for some reason were losing their mind, and it was just the post office and just shooting people at work. It was called going postal, right? That term was existing. He went postal. I don't even know if anybody says that anymore. It's National Ginger Snap Day, and it's National Ginger. Oh, National Creative. Yeah, yes, going postal. That's the actual term, because post office shootings were it was a thing before the internet was invented. Mm-hmm. National Creative Ice Cream Flavors Day. So you can have some ginger snap ice cream, just to round it up. That's everything for today. Your mispronunciations, your bad puns, your haikus, your spins of the wheel for Wednesday, July 1st. And before and ice cream.
Ginger snaps.
Yeah, ginger.
I can snap all those gingers I've always wanted to today. Good sarcasm.
Right, exactly.
Happy early birthday, Nico.
Early birthday, July 1st. Wilson's birthday.
Born in the summer. Must have been rough. All hot.
I was doing. It is July 1st. And no, not really.
Oh, okay.
I was doing a little research on the one I was conceived. I was doing some research on the one I was conceived. I know that's a weird thing to do, but I think it's
no, it's not. It's very important for some people who like astrology, I guess.
No, I'm saying the month I was conceived would have been March of 1962. Was the coldest month on record in Wisconsin, minus 42 degrees. So I think I know what was going on there. Yeah, I think I know what was going on there. No insulation in that house. No
time to get warm. Oh, it was also before birth control, wasn't it? So
it was kind of right at the same time, but I don't think my mom was on it yet. So yeah. I know she was on it later because I remember as a small child playing with that little pillbox thing with the days on it.
They made it a little spindle, yeah.
Yeah, and all the pills pop out. My mom lost her fucking mind. Like, What'd I do?
And that's why on the box it says, please keep out of reach of children.
If you're not familiar, or at least the original birth control pill, there was it was like a little clock. It had 30 foot
Funnily enough, it looked a lot like what my asthma medicine looks like now, which is a also a similar thing. It spins like this, yeah.
Yeah, and it just says, like it says Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, just the letters, right? And it says, and you turn it, and the pill pops out, the little thing. But the thing is, there's 7 pills that do absolutely nothing. Because
which you can skip, by the way.
Right.
It's because there's this false idea that if women stop having their period, the world will end. But then now, more recent in modern medicine, we've discovered women can skip their period and nothing bad happens.
Like tangents. My point being was my mom lost her mind
I
because...
like tangents. What is this?
What I'm talking, I was finished my tangent for another tangent.
You ate all of the birth control.
My tangent was going to end, and my mom freaking out because those pills, I don't know if people know this, but those pills be mixed up. And there's like, I don't even know that between them. Anyway. Anyway, my mom did not have another kid as far as I know. She didn't have another kid. I haven't given it up for adoption.
Just calling a bunch of bingos.
Just say you brought up the birth control.
Okay. Sadly, there's no international UN observances today, so celebrate Canada, I guess, if you want to. Celebrate maple syrup in their maple reserve, so you can put that sugar on on my unknown cousins.
Right, because mom had
some of my uncles.
Oh, did he? Oh. My theory is I mixed up her pills. She accidentally got pregnant, and then she had to give the kid for adoption. She was like, I'm not having any more damn kids. That's why I'm on this pill. You know?
Yeah. Maybe.
I
think you can still take that week and still not get pregnant. It's just like... Anyways.
It's not real.
This is Allison here from the Netherlands. This is Roger from the East Coast of the U.S. as we finish off a Wacky and Weird Wednesday. I hope you were excited about all the Vespas and the animals and, well, humans just doing weird stuff. And we'll be back tomorrow for a Thursday's 13 list, which I guess I'll be doing it. And it's going to be the 13 richest royal families in the world. I just need to find out what the 13th one is. Because for some reason, there's only 12 on the list. So I need to find out what the 13th one is. And then we can have a list. Right. So make sure you're here tomorrow for Thursday's 13, plus general news stories. And follow us on Before Coffee Podcast on Twitch, Before Coffee Podcast on YouTube. Make that number go up. Share with your friends, your family, your dogs, your ghosty relatives. And we thank you to all our Patreon supporters on the Before Coffee supporter tier. Yeah, I'm sure Tommy's very, very rich. And we will see you. Yeah, man. Here is our mic drop moment.
We're all rich.
New tonight
here at 11. I'm
stuck in an ADHD tornado right now. We need to escape.
Hey, this is about capitalism. This is about capitalism and how it messes with everything.
Oh, we're talking about factory farmers?
It's stone fruit season in the
No.
Central Valley.
We're talking about a company that says they own the patent for what he's growing, so he can't sell it without giving the royalties. So
Picking his nectarines.
It's been really frustrating dealing with a large company like they are.
Mora says an ongoing legal dispute between him and agriculture company Guiamara
this
Brothers.
qualifies.
We own your nectarines.
Nearly 125,000 pounds of fruit for a second year in a row.
They're nectarines, Nico.
And that was here from last year.
Yes.
They're nectarines. They're not. They're like peaches without fuzz.
Guiamara Brothers in 2017 to grow a specific variety of white nectarines. He says they claimed ownership of the variety.
Oh yeah, I've had those before. They're kind of weird tasting, honestly. They're not as
pack and market
sweet.
his fruit to them. However, he now alleges
but they grow so much easier.
He made a trade deal with the company.
Own this fruit. He says because of that, he stopped taking his fruit to Guiamara, and now they're suing.
I feel that contract was all.
I would sell to Mexico. I would take it to Mexico and
misrepresentation. So I don't see how I could breach a contract that was built on lies or fraud.
And he's suing back, saying he's barely getting by, only able to sell his peaches and plums on his small farm.
My future's at stake. I don't see a future for myself in farming if I lose this.
Did you just call them peaches?
Documents obtained
Yeah.
from the Guillemot.
No, he has peaches
They're
and
not
plums
peaches.
too, is what they're saying. He
Oh,
also has
okay.
he can only
Oh,
sell his peaches and plums, and these nectarines are just sitting here and spoiling, I guess.
Says that since he couldn't sell the fruit,
Right.
he decided to have the community.
Hey man,
come
once
out
these things are
and
ripe, it ain't long. You got to eat them.
My name
You
is
can't just
Caesar
say, "Oh, they're ripe.
Williams.
Let me just hold
I
on."
think
to
I would just
Nope.
start putting him in a jam or something, and maybe being like,
this
doesn't break the contract because I'm not selling peaches, I'm selling jam.
Picking his fruit,
Totally different product.
Yeah, and sell
It's
the
worth
yeah.
more
You can
than
store
$50
jam at least a little while until you sell it, and then the lawsuit gets settled, and it's like,
Fresno-based counsel for the Guillemot
letting people pick them for free is the
Oh, look at
solution.
their corporate
Total
reply
loss.
to basically making this guy go out of business. Yeah, we just really want we just wanted him to do all the work, you see, and then we sell the peaches and he makes no money. That was all part of our plan.
We're just trying to enforce a patent we don't even own. That's what they're doing. They don't even own it. But yeah, that's capitalism.
Be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and notify buttons, and follow our other channels, Toxic Alley, History of Gravy, and Scratchy Old Records.